What's going on, everybody? It's CryptoVision here, back again with another crypto market update. Today's weekend edition, we got Ethereum. Gonna get a little bit of Ethereum dominance, stablecoin dominance. You know, the routine couple that we throw in there. So, hey, if you like today's video, hit that like button, subscribe for more. Leave a comment where you're tuning in from. I appreciate it. So, let's get into Ethereum. It's actually, I mean, if we're just looking at the weekly price, just price action, we're right around this area where, we have just like a nice little wedge pattern, falling wedge pattern. It's wicked down a couple times throughout the weeks. We're trying to bounce right off this 50. So overall, Ethereum it's kind of just oscillating down. Right now, it's oscillating down. It's not doing anything crazy yet. It's not slamming through the 50. It's not doing anything. If anything, on the downside, it's doing something. Right, it's doing something like this. Right, it's doing something like that. This one did not. Like, we're looking for like closes close to it. Yeah, not as of recent, right? So back through here, you got some support, something like that. All right, so you're getting closer to the 50, and the bodies of the candles are a little bit closer. We haven't really experienced anything like that through here until now. So like this, these two bodies are way up here. That's why I'm not really considering those. They didn't really get down to use that as a bounce. They didn't close down there. Pardon me. Almost as if like coming down and closing and getting like that reassurance to come down I think is more beneficial, right? Than just using the momentum just to sit to lose it the next week. Just get it over with. We've come down almost to the 100-day EMA or 100-week EMA, right? You did that right there. You did that through here, right? You're kind of closing down below it. But there's some good and there's some bad, right? It's not just 100% certainty, but overall, right? It is oscillating down. It is correcting in a orderly manner. So it is doing better than actually most. So Ethereum, right? We do have some other areas of confluence. So we turn on the Fu Manchu. We're already over. I mean, we've been oversold for a while. We've been in this downtrend. We're pretty much at the zero line for the stochastic. So for those that don't know, this is the Fu Manchu through here. It's very similar to the MACD. It has its delay, but I like the visuals a little bit more. You can see the momentum. The green dot signify buys, red dot signifies sells. So we kind of been in this zone for a while. Once we didn't get above this area, we have it. I'm pretty sure we have it down through the daily or the hourly. We'll get into that. It's been oversold, right? It's cross on the stochastic, pretty much at zero. But we're already bouncing. We're already looking to try to bounce, right? So we already did the hard part. At least Ethereum did with this breakout through here in the back test. So now this is like, honestly, I think this is in a better position than it was in April. That's just the way I feel. You've already, you've gotten over this resistance of the MACD, or sorry, the RSI that was holding you down for a really long time. And when you're above it, you're doing well, right? When you're above it, you're doing well. Be very ideal to try to get a bounce or like just a shallow, boom, something like that. So hold this week though. I'm hoping just to kind of sit where it is right now, because it's right there. I definitely want to see something, and then the big test will just be the moving average. But because it got through this, because you got that rejection right there, boom. So this was established resistance. Moving average is always resistance. So but it would have to make a move up to get there. So regardless, I'm still expecting a move to test this again, something like that. Let's go into the daily. I think the daily, yeah. So we got a whole bunch of stuff on the daily. We had these levels. We've had these levels for a while, and so haven't really changed much with Ethereum. It's sitting on, I don't know when last week made the video, but it's sitting on this. It doesn't look, it does, if you do invert this, I mean, that looks pretty bearish, right? That does. I'll call it as I see it. That looks pretty bearish. That looks like a nice little bull flag, you know what I'm saying? Actually like a pennant. Like a pennant. Let me just do something like that real quick. Yeah, so we'll get an answer by today. You know, kind of how it works. So by the end of the day, we'll know what we're doing. Tomorrow will be a big day, right? So tomorrow will be pretty big. I know it's a Sunday, but just the way that crypto ebbs and flows, like this momentum, I think needs to continue and hold. But right now that doesn't look too good, right? But we'll see. It you know, if I did see alt season trending on, you know, on X, you know, people get so hyped up to call for alt season. It's like not even close, right? A couple assets have gone crazy, but for the most part, we're still in like that no man's land. Like, are we going to keep correcting? Because it looks like it wants to keep correcting. Like it does. It looks like it wants a little bit more down. It does. And I'm assuming most other charts do as well. It's just, you know, didn't really do much on Friday, and so kind of left ourselves up to this. We were talking about this on XLM and XRP. So overall, right, you got EMAs closing in to cross that 50, crossing down towards the 100. So things do look not so good, right? They look pretty bearish in terms of the short term, just another correction, right? Just like, or just a continuation. You know, if this is now what we're thinking of, you know, the correction from down through here all the way up, this could be, you know, that final phase, because we still haven't interacted with the 2100 level yet, you know, and that was an area to bounce. I mean, Ethereum likes to do that kind of stuff. You know, 2700 we have. So coming down through here, you bounced, right? You came up through here, and then you got out. So it is a point of interest, right? So let's see what it does to the upside. I mean, there's so much resistance to the upside. It's going to need a substantial move, right, to get going. All your EMAs, you know, previous areas of, you know, resistance, we had marked. I mean, these areas through here, this 39 to 4200. Ideally, I'd like to get above 46. Just, you know, I know this is one, but it's going to take a lot of steam out and like do something like that, and then maybe go form some kind of like V. But that's not what the charts are indicating. Is, you know, another correction. Not another correction, just continuation, right? Just continuation. So yeah, so in terms of, you know, the higher prices, higher ends, lower ends, that's what we got. In terms of breaking out, right, we still have Ethereum around that, you know, $57 to $8,000 range, possibly to 9,000. Possibly, right? Possibly. So it just depends on the catalyst. Like I get a lot of feedback of, you know, when, you know, is this a good price? Is this a good price? Is this a good price? Right? Remember, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but these are just areas that, you know, would be, you know, an area of interest if I was holding Ethereum. And they're not out of this world either, right? They're really not. we've done the measurements on the fibs, but just from a percentage standpoint, right? Just from a perspective, it's at 69, 86, and 140. We'll just round up 140. So 89, 80, we'll go through here. We'll go April lows, right? 257% from the April lows. Ethereum, right? Ethereum did this. A lot of people forget. I actually had Ethereum and I sold it. I sold it back here in November. I did. I sold it back here in November. Not knowing, right? I thought I was going to get back into it, but I just changed from Ethereum to XLM at that point. I liked where XLM was, and so I just held on, waited for XLM to get, to a price, and then buy a good amount. But overall, right, this is a good sign. This is a good sign. I know temporarily. I'm even calling for like a mid-November run, but until then, right, it's the 8th, so maybe finish this week neutral, start off the week, this coming up week bearish, right, for the first couple of days. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, and so overall, right, we'll see how that plays out. So maybe finish tomorrow neutral, green, doji candle, start bearish Monday, Tuesday, work our way through throughout the week. It just, the macro, what's going on in the government, what's going on, with the whole, funding and all this. It's holding up everything. I think once that kind of settles down, people or the market makers will use it as a reason to send the prices higher, because we're still expecting QT to end, right? QE is still coming, and with QE, you get extra additional flow of money, right? It's just the printers get turned on and they go burr. So it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when. So we need to be prepared for a. I keep reiterating it, but I see a lot of alt season around. I see it, and I just hope you're not just going crazy. Have some levels, right? I mean, you're in no man's land right now. So I don't know. That's what I got for Ethereum. Let's go into Bitcoin dominance, right? Let's go into Bitcoin dominance. We've had this for a while. Bitcoin dominance. I have multiple, patterns throughout different, time frames, but this has been a pretty solid play out so far. We've came up through here and rejected. That's what you like to see on these, ascending wedges, or just, horizontal channels, or, whatever it is. You get the rejection. This right here is nice. This rejection right through here. Kind of a doji candle. So, maybe, you, like I say, you start the week. Maybe Bitcoin kind of takes more of the front seat during the week, and then, you start going down, something like that. So I like that. It's overall on the weekly, still, it's just grinding away. It's at a standstills. I mean, it's been getting slammed down like crazy. The thesis remains. All right, you had the 20 right above the 50. We've been watching this thing since day one. If you've been here since day one, we've been watching this whole thing. Whole thesis was, we had a fake out. I'll admit I got faked out right here. Our thesis was you come down, you come up, reject, and then you come down, right? We closed down through here. Everything looked really good, and then it was the ultimate fake out, right? It was a pretty good fake out. I'm not going to, say that I wasn't, expecting alt season. I was expecting it. Stablecoin dominance did not hold up its end, so we'll get into that. But overall, right, it still remains the same, right? The fake out, that means if they're trying to fake you out, that means they're gonna go that way. It's not rocket science. They don't want you to be with them when it's going down here. They want you selling. So it's just a game of cat and mouse. It's like, oh, here I come, oh, here I come, oh, here I come, and then they show up one day and you're like, you don't expect it. So it does look bearish. It's just holding it's holding its ground. We have levels of the 49 and the 50. I mean, it's just going sideways, right? It did its W. Right now it's just kind of going sideways and getting sad, right? W's, you gotta get out of there. You gotta come up, come down, come up, maybe drizzle down, then go, something like that. You can't. If you're doing this, you're just buying your time. So it's just a waiting game right now, and I think it's going to, when it does play out, it's going to be very fast. So yeah, so we'll move on. We'll go to stablecoin dominance per the usual. Right, this was the stablecoin dominance. What was it? When was that? What week was that? September 8th. September 8th, yeah, through here. Right, stablecoin dominance was through here. It was right there. And so, right, it rejected the 20. Everything looked good, and then just fell. Right. So if I take this chart and invert it, right, that's what it looks like right now. An even bigger version of this. So you have, you have obviously the large wave right here. Right, that's like your A, and you come up for your B, right? So you have your A. Oh, I'm so sorry. You have your B, and then you got your C. See, sometimes I can do it, sometimes it's just weird. It's so sensitive. I play games on it, and sometimes I got it, sometimes I don't. But overall, A, B, C, right? We're looking for another wave after this, right? So you have your movement. It looks ready to rock and roll. It looks ready to come up through here like this. Because within that ABC, you have your 1 2, you have your 1 2 3 4 5, something like that. All right, 1 2 3 4 5. All right, and then you got your 5 waves down, possibly. Right, something like, you come down, so like a 1 2 3 4 5, something like that. Right, I'd have to re-invert it again. I'm like doing invert of the invert. But not going to, I got a comment about this being bearish. I'm like, dude, it looks like a bigger version of this through here, and definitely it resembles this to a T. And you're making lower highs for sure. So overall, until 831 is like the ultimate level. But even on the monthly, I haven't even closed 776. We came up there. We were up there a couple days ago. And this is a bearish pattern on the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, this is you're looking for lower prices, and then a bounce, something like that. Pretty much what crypto did. Crypto was in like something like this. It got the low, took out the lows, right, and then looking to go. But you're anticipating like something to come down through here. You buy and then you go. Some cryptos just kept dipping. They kept going. You know what I mean? But definitely expecting something like that, because that's how it works, right? It's typical. It's more probabilistic. It's 51% of the time that happens, and then you get a run. So we'll see how that goes. That's what I got for stablecoin dominance. That's what I got for Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum. So hey, if you like today's video, please hit that like button. I appreciate all the support. Leave your comments. What you think's going on. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And hey, it's the weekend. Have a great weekend. I appreciate you, and as always, take it easy. Peace.